Well, my good, I didn't expect to have this. I am not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm bushy-haired and bleary-eyed. But good morning, everybody. How is everybody this morning? And I'll be honest with you, this is I wouldn't say I'm nervous this morning, but I'm a little bit apprehensive about basically getting this song launched. So what I want everybody to do, everybody that's watching, do me a massive favor, and in the description of the videos, if you're watching it on X, it might not be like this. I'll just check X out. But if you're watching it on either YouTube channel, if you go into the description, there'll be a link. And when you click on the link, it's got like a little apple tree next to it. And it's got all the different ways that you can download the Men of England single. So I'm just going to put that on the screen now. So bear with me. So you should be seeing that. You should be seeing our little album cover and then the different ways that you can download it. So just let me know if you can do that, guys, yet. Well said, Jenny. Feminist lives on even at 7 o'clock in the morning. Where are the Men of England? We're here and just as strong and as fierce as the men. Oh, there's John Capone back. It's good to see you. It's good to have all my gangster friends in the room. And he's not a real gangster. He's just using the name John Capone just in case anybody thought that John Capone's a gangster. It was Al Capone. Anyway, okay. So guys, let me know if you can get on and click on that link and let me know if that's working for you. Okay, Mike, that's brilliant, mate. Mike, can you tell me this, mate? What did you buy it on? Did you buy it on Apple Music or did you buy it on Amazon? I think that's the only two that we can actually download on. And I don't have an Apple account because I don't believe in Apple. So if you can let me know what you actually bought that on, guys, just so I know that everything's actually working. Because obviously what we want to do, we want to really push this out. And if you can do me a favor, if you've got friends that you don't normally get involved with the patriotic stuff with, I would say most people in the comments and are watching at 7 o'clock this morning are telling all their friends all the time about the patriotic stuff. But share it with your friends and just let them have a listen to it. Just either share there's a YouTube video. I'll grab the link to the YouTube video for Men of England here as well. Let me just do something here. Let me just try something. So here's the crazy thing about this, right? If I play the Men of England on YouTube, if I play it on YouTube, I get a copyright strike against my channel. Okay, so yeah, it is very, very bizarre. In the comments, guys, and again, this needs to be really interactive this morning because I need to know exactly what's going on. In the comments, if you could let me know if you've downloaded it, and if so, Amazon. Okay, great. iTunes. Okay, that's cool. So that's brilliant. So it's working. That's fine. As long as I know it's working. Because again, because I don't have an iTunes account, when I went into Apple, it didn't seem like there was a download option. So as long as there's a download option, do me a favor, Mike, if you could try to think how you could share this link so that we can share it. But it doesn't matter actually. It's all there. It's all there on the stream. Well, listen, that's good. So guys, just get this shared with as many people as you can, as many patriots. If you've got any if you've got any veteran friends or military friends, share it with them because it'll be right up their street. I think it would be amazing if something from our movement could be number one of the weekend of Remembrance Sunday. I think it would be a massive, massive statement. It is a patriotic song. Obviously, I am a veteran, so I've got skin in the game with this, and I think that would just be a fantastic thing. Mate, Les, do me a favor. Bear with me. I am going to get looking at this over the weekend. I'm going to go to the UK Freedom Movement site. That's the other thing I'm going to do. Just so big announcements today. First big announcement: where are the Men of England launching mega excited about this. Yeah, download. That's brilliant. Download for 99p. Perfect. Brilliant. So if you've downloaded it, just give me a thumbs up in the comments so I know exactly how many people are actually downloading the thing. And do me a favor, share this, even though it's ridiculously early in the morning. It's an I said to Paul I was going to send Paul a link. Paul said to me last night, he says, send me a link and I'll try and get on. Now, I deliberately haven't sent Paul a link, not because I don't want him on, but I thought that guy was up last night until about 1 o'clock in the morning because they're an hour ahead of us. I'm not going to drag him out of his bed this early to basically get him on the channel. And anyway, guys, this is fantastic. I mean, look at all the people that are downloading this. If we can get this really, really going and get this going viral, and that's what we've got to do, you can share all the different links. The main link to share, guys, would be this one, okay, the Amazon one, if you can see that now on the screen, and also the let's do this one, the Apple one, because what we want to do is get the downloads, because the download chart is easier to get it's easier to get top of the download chart than it is to get top of the streaming chart. So streaming is obviously, without teaching everyone, it's okay because you probably know it better than me, because I never really download music. This is actually the first single I've downloaded in about 5 years, right? So so if you do the download, okay, basically it's easier for us to get to number 1 on the download. Ricky Doolan taught me this, because I think Ricky got to number 2 with his song, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So if we can get to number 1, that's exactly what we want. Yeah, so anywhere that you can download it and buy the single, I think it's just let's have a look. Yeah, I think the only 2 places, as far as I can see, that you can actually download it, are yeah, it's basically Amazon and the Apple Store. And again, sorry about this not being very, very slick, but it's early in the morning. It only went live just literally 2 minutes ago. So I'm basically excited about it, but also I've never done this before, so forgive me. We're going to have a look at some news, and I want to doing this because obviously it's early in the morning. There's loads of people. Whose anniversary is it today? Jenny's anniversary. Let's have a look. Morning, Richard. It's my 55th wedding anniversary. Well, congratulations, Jenny. That is absolutely fantastic. Everybody, I want everybody in the comments. Let's give Jenny a massive round of applause to making it to 55 years. That is some achievement. There's not many people's marriages make to. Yes, Lee, I got that last night. Thanks very much, mate. That is massively appreciated. Everybody that's supporting us at the minute, it is absolutely massively appreciated. It really is. And whether it's through the super chats or whether it's through supporting us through PayPal, it really does make an absolute massive difference. Because again, all of this stuff that we do, creating content, doing music, even though I obviously wrote the words for the Men of England, I didn't sing it. That would really ruin the vibe if I started trying to sing, especially this early in the morning. But I wrote the words, generated the music with AI, and it seems to have just hit a nerve, I think. And obviously, to me, I've always been someone that lyrics of songs are very, very important. That's why I used to like some really weird songs when I was younger, sort of Nick Cave, Leonard Cohen, all that sort of weird stuff, because I love the lyrics, because it's lyrics that speak to people's hearts. Music is music, and it's great. I mean, obviously, good music is fantastic, but to me, it's about the words, and the words, I think, sum up the mood of the nation at the minute and the desperation that's out there. But like I said last night when I was on with Paul, and I don't know if you saw the video I did yesterday, I absolutely think we can get out of this, and I've got a plan. I know how to do it. I know how we can get out of the mess that we're in. It will not be easy. It'll be a hard road, but without putting too fine a point on it, I know exactly what to do. And I think I went into it yesterday. I'll go into it a bit again this morning before I start looking at some of the news, because the news will have you all reaching for a sick bag this early in the morning. And I thought, if I'm going to start doing a morning show, I've got to give people hope. And to me, obviously, you all know my opinion on hope. My hope is built on Christ and his faithfulness, not on my faithfulness, but on faith in Christ and trusting that Christ will look after us. And if we believe in him, he'll get us through all this. So that's my ultimate hope. And believe you me, I've been through more knocks than Frank Bruno when he was fighting Mike Tyson. But the truth of the matter is, we can get out of this politically, and it just needs strong leadership, which I believe Ben Habib and the team around Ben Habib will give. And it needs them to, I'll be honest with you, think very seriously about the policies that I'm talking about, especially when it comes to the Islamic extremism problem. And it is to me, it's the biggest strategic threat that our country faces, because we have literally probably at least 1 million people in this country that want Sharia law. That's a fact. If 32% of the population, of the Muslim population of the UK want Sharia law, and all the polls, some of the polls put it as high as 40%. So 40% of 4 million. I mean, and the other thing is, I don't believe for a minute that there's only 4 million Muslims in this country. Looking at just the anecdotal evidence of everywhere you go and all the footage you see, there's a lot of women with burqas on. I think we're probably nearer 6 to 10 million. I mean, who knows? Who knows? All we're going on is the census data. The illegals that are here are never going to show up in a census. And we reckon there's 2 million illegals in the country at least. So massive problem. But again, like I said yesterday, the way to do this is to put policies in place that match with fundamental British values. And that would mean banning halal, banning cousin marriage, obviously enforcing laws on FGM, banning Sharia courts, banning the burqa, monitoring mosques, extraditing the people that are causing problems, the people that are going on hate marches that are not extradite. What do we call it? Deport. See, this is what happens when it's early in the morning. It's difficult enough doing it at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, but when it's really early in the morning, it's even more difficult. So you put all that in place. You create a regiment of the British Army called the Home Defence Regiment that would have up to 30,000 men at least, to basically police things if things kicked off. Once, obviously, you've got the extremists out of the country, which we need to do, whether they're violent extremists or non-violent extremists, Islamic extremists need to be deported from the country or re-educated so they're not extremists anymore. Once you've done that, the problem is very much solved. Because like Tommy says, and this is where I absolutely agree on Tommy 100%, the problem in the UK is not immigration. It's Islamic immigration. That's the problem. We've got to define this. And it's the extremists that are coming in. And the Muslims of goodwill, the people who are not extremists, they should have a big weight lifted off them of oppression. And the women in Islam who are treated like chattel and are treated like second-class citizens, they need to be emancipated in the UK. And if these things were done, if we had a government that had the courage to do this, and I believe Advance is the government that can have the courage to do this, and I think specifically because of Ben's unique background, his mother's Christian English, her father, I believe, or her father or great grandfather was a vicar, Ben's great grandfather, and his father was a westernized Muslim who, according to Ben, loved to drink and really wanted nothing to do with the extremism that he saw in Pakistan. And so Ben's in a unique position to do this because nobody can throw the racism card at him. So he could do more than Farage is ever going to do, because Farage is terrified of all this. So that's my hope. Obviously, primarily my hopes in God. Secondarily, my hopes in getting these policies on the statute book and implementing them. Is it going to be easy? No. It's going to be difficult enough getting into power and wresting power off these lefty lunatics. I mean, that's another thing that needs to do, and we'll do that in another video. It's going to be difficult enough to get out of the net zero nightmare that these Labour and Conservative governments have put us into. But to me, it's a must. So, guys, I'm just going to share that tab again so you can see it. And again, I'm going to check the comments, see what's going on, and then we'll have a look at some of this morning's news. So. Thanks, Claire Beck. Guys, if you haven't bought this, let's get on it. Let's get this to #1. Come on. Thanks, Bess. Thanks for that, Mike. Yeah, the link, ABC Grimsby, the link for the song is in the description of the video. So if you're watching the video, you scroll down just to where the description is, and the link to the song is there. I could drop the link in here. In fact, I will. I'm going to drop the link in here because it's not a difficult one to actually copy. So, right, I've just dropped the link there into the comments as well. Obviously, you're not going to be able to cut and paste it, but what you can do is just copy it out, take a screenshot of it, and copy it out. Look at that, Don. What a legend! He bought it both. That is hardcore. You know. He bought it both. Send the link to your friends. Send the link to all your friends. Because again, it would just be such an amazing message. And it means that anywhere you are on your phone, you're not going to have to go and looking for it. If you download it, you have it on your phone, you just hit play and you can have it playing in the car. This should be the most played song in anybody's car going to work this morning. It really, really should be. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we're looking at. No, the song's not Free Farty Pants. I know who you're talking about. I want to look at some stuff this morning on X. Okay, so I'm gonna okay, so do you remember we were talking about Mike Graham yesterday? Okay, so here's Mike Graham. Now you got to hand it to him. At least he is showing a little bit of stoicism. So don't know if we can see this. If you can see this on the stream. So there's Mike Graham, and he's just put. Let's have a look. I'll maybe make that a little bit bigger. What's he put? Burning down the house. Well, let's see what he's going to do. I think that might allude to the fact that he's going to burn down, metaphorically, of course. Now we just before any of the lefties that no doubt scrutinize everything that we all say. I don't think Mike Graham's inciting that he's going to burn down Talk TV. Literally, I think metaphorically, he's probably talking about burning down Talk TV. Oh dear. Yeah, Men of England. Do you know what? Here's the thing, Daz. Actually, that's a very interesting point talking about on CD. It's not on CD at the minute. The only way you can get it is download. But what I am thinking of is maybe talking to some of the other patriotic artists and see if we can get together a CD with some of the music that we've all made and some of the speeches we've made. So that could be an interesting one. So again, I never record my speeches myself, so I'll have to try and find some of my rants on YouTube and download them. But I think that could be an interesting project. I think that might cause issue if we identify a certain demographic. Well, Jenny, yes, it might if it wasn't that demographic is the one that's causing all the problems. It's not Hindus, it's not Buddhists, it's not Sikhs, it's not Jamaicans, it's not Christian Nigerians. It's a certain section of the Islamic community. It's not all Muslims, and we're not against all Muslims. You know, when you look at people like Shohab and Lubna, who are very, very moderate Muslims, well, they're obviously the ones that we want to protect. And part of the policies, Jenny, would be to protect apostates and protect Muslim women, because Muslim women are getting a really raw deal in the UK as well. So if Muslim women got emancipated, it would really absolutely smash with a sledgehammer and you know, the lefties are always talking about a patriarchal society. The most patriarchal society, this is the hypocrisy of left. The most patriarchal society is basically the left, sorry, the Islamists by far, and the left have joined themselves at the hip with the Islamists. So yeah, I don't know how. I'm trying to work out how Bess's voice has got into the stream, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, okay. So let's go through some of these stories, because I do want to look at some of these today, and I'll need you to let me know that the technology is working on this, because I've got to. Oh goodness me! So here is this this doc.
Deliberating.
This is the doctor who has, well, I mean, by all accounts, she's been doing some pretty horrendous stuff, and the NHS has a massive problem with anti-Semitism. So let's see what this doctor has to say. Look at this. There's a Palestine flag behind her. I don't know if this is from this morning, but let's have a listen.
I really appreciate your support. Honestly, it means like a great deal. We've just spent a whole day really deliberating on the legitimacy of the case brought forward by the GMC, and the fact that they are practically submitting the same evidence and trying to get a different outcome. They have so far been unable to tell us exactly how their material that they've added since my last hearing, where I won, is any different to the material from that hearing. And not only that, they're... Sorry? Yeah, so I'm basically here again 4 weeks later for the exact same speech that a panel here, an independent panel, said was fine. Just because the Israeli Jewish lobby has an issue with what I...
Now, I don't know if you heard that, guys, what this woman just said, but she said straight away, she gave it all away. She started talking about the Israeli Jewish lobby. Now, I haven't listened to the speech that she's talking about, but I'm going to go and listen to it afterwards. But I've seen all the press. Now, again, obviously, I'm not a fan of the press, and I'm not a fan of the establishment. However, we know that there is a big problem with anti-Semitism in the left, on the left side of politics, and among the Islamists. We know that. And yet they deny it. They deny it and deny it and deny it. But we know that there's a problem there. So if anyone's got that speech that this lady has made, that she's been dragged before the General Medical Council for, please share it with me, because I think this is something that we really need to look into. Now, obviously, we've got to be careful what we say, because these people are extremely litigious. I mean, that disgusting, vile man in Birmingham who's literally now called for a ban on any Israeli sports team from playing. I'm not sure whether it was in Birmingham, whether it was right the way throughout the UK. Purely and disgustingly anti-Semitic if you're trying to ban every single Israeli team from playing in the UK. And I am going to play this video, because this is one that we can play the full video, because I mean, it's just incredible to hear. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to find this guy. There's Tommy out for his morning run. Oh, he's having fun in Jerusalem, isn't he? He's having fun in Jerusalem. Right. Oh, here's one. We'll do this one first. So This is
I'm so
clueless,
sorry that we're
clueless Keir.
sorry that we're meeting in these circumstances.
Now, I was talking to Paul Thorpe last night. I don't know if you saw the show last night, but I was talking to Paul Thorpe about this mosque in Peacehaven, and Paul said it's tiny thing, tiny mosque. And the other thing is, there's still nothing, as far as I know. No one's been convicted, no one's been arrested, so we don't have a clue. We don't have a clue who's responsible for this attack on this mosque. But let's hear what clueless Keir is promising to the people in this mosque.
I'm so sorry that we're meeting in these circumstances because that was a horrific attack that will have impacted every single member of the community. We've just been talking to some of the family members and getting a sense firsthand of the personal impact. I'm really pleased today that we are announcing a further £10 million to support our mosques on top of
£10 million of our money, okay, of mine and your money, our hard-earned tax money. £10 million. Clueless Keir has just given away £10 million of our money, just like that. For what? How many, in all honesty, how many genuine violent terrorist attacks have there been on mosques in the UK? Very, very few. And when people have ever been caught for them, do you remember Bunny? You know, a lot of people talk about Peter Lynch. If anybody remembers Bunny, Bunny was a guy who, I think, threw a bacon sandwich on a mosque, and he died in prison under very, very similar circumstances to Peter Lynch. I think they put it down as a suicide. But you can imagine the way that man was treated in prison. I'm not sure how long he even got, whether he got a year for throwing a bacon sandwich at a mosque. What, you know, I'm not being funny, right? But when we look at this video, when you see this video that I've been playing, I mean, what is British about the dress? What is British about? You know, it's all the women are kind of sitting on there. Look at this woman in the back here, totally burqa'd up, can't even see her face. She looks terrified. That should be banned in the UK. Women should not be made to dress up like that, because I don't believe for a minute they want to wear those clothes. And it's a dreadful stain on our society. The grooming gangs are the worst crime in British history, without a shadow of a doubt. But also the dreadful treatment of Muslim women, the amount of sexual assault within Muslim families, of wives, of daughters. We don't know what's going on there. I know when I spoke to people from the Bangladeshi community when I was doing stuff with Mufassal Islam before he went back to Islam, which is a crazy thing, but there we go. When I was doing stuff with Mufassal Islam, we were interviewing some of these women, and it would have made an amazing documentary, but we've lost all those contacts because Mufassal went back into the community. But when Mufassal was basically de-radicalizing people and bringing them out of the Muslim community, and again, some of those videos are still on my YouTube channel from the very beginning, some of those conversations we had. But we were getting women that were going to do interviews about what had happened to them within and it's specifically Bangladeshi, because that's where Mufassal was from. He's from a Bangladeshi background. And these women were being horrendously abused and telling their stories, and they were absolutely broken. And of course, these women, a lot of them were born in the UK. Some of them weren't. One of the women, who was very well educated in Bangladesh, came to, and this is a true story, came to the United Kingdom, right? Met a young man who wasn't radical. He was a Bangladeshi. He got radicalized in a mosque in East London, became a complete nutcase, wearing all the gear, you know, top lip shaved, and he turned into an absolute monster and became radicalized once she married him, and made her dress like this lady is in the back in the back of the picture. And she was attacked. I think she was nearly killed. She was sexually assaulted. Horrendous. Had a horrendous life, and she was just one witness. And again, I think that is a massive story that needs to be told of what's happening to Muslim women in these communities and the abuse that's going on. And the grooming gang scandal, everybody turned away from the grooming gang scandal. How much more are the establishment turning away from what's happening to Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Somali women in those communities? It's a big question. So I think, you know, the point Jenny was making, which was a very good point about you can't just deport a whole demographic, right? And I agree with that. But what we do need to do, we need to find a way of setting people free and giving true freedom of religion to people in the Muslim community. And I think that would be a massive step forward. Let's play some more of this video of this absolute nutcase of a prime minister we've got.
The support we've already put in. I'm pleased to say that. I'm sad to say it as well, in a sense.
Yeah, Keir, we're sad to say you're spending £10 million of our money. We're really sad to say that you're happy to just splash our cash all over the place.
Because I wish we didn't need to put in more security. We shouldn't need to have security in places of worship. And it's sad that we do, but that just reflects the responsibility on me, on the Home Secretary, to do everything we can to tackle hate crime.
And guys, let's be honest about this, right? Let's be honest. The only reason that Keir's doing this, the only reason that Keir Starmer's doing this is to shore up the Muslim vote. It's as simple as that. There's no other reason. By the way, guys, if you've just dived on and you're just tuning in, what I want you to do is go into the description on the just going to share this. Go into the description in the video down below the video on both YouTube channels. Go into the description and dive onto the link, which will take you through. You should see this page, and then you can go down to all the different download options. What we really want you to do is go onto the iTunes store, download the track, or on the Amazon store, because we're really going to try and get this to number one. For Remembrance, it's a big ask, because what we're on the 24th of October now, and we've just launched this song, so we've got 2 weeks to get it to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks to get it to number one in the download chart. And again, it would just be a coup for our movement. It would just be absolutely superb. So let's see what we can do. There's different ways I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna talk to the guys that do the pledge and see if we can get it sent out through the pledge email server, because again, I mean, that's I think it's about 60,000 email addresses on there. So again, if we can do that, that could give it a good boost. I spoke to Tommy's team; they're happy to send it out on one of their emails. So yeah, let's make sure that we get this record in its rightful place. Yeah, exactly, Ivan. Where indeed is the money for the Jewish community? We're sad that we have to share oxygen with that man. I totally agree with what you're saying. What you're saying there, I totally agree. Let's have a look at some more of this stuff on X, because the reality is, excuse me. The reality is, there we go. There's the song being advertised on X as well. So here we go. This is from the Home Office, and this is what Reverend Phil's got to say. The Home Office needs a complete clear out from the Home Secretary through the layers of civil servants who do not have our best interests at heart. Birmingham, our second city, is a no-go area for Jews. We have sitting MPs who care more about Gaza. Sorry, just let me share this, guys, instead of what we'll share. Where are we? Just so you can see it on the screen. We have sitting MPs who are more concerned about Gaza and Sharia law than they are about their English constituents. That is so true. That is so true. That guy, what can we see? We've got to be careful what we say, because these jihadi lawyers will sue us if we say something that is defamatory. They'll just sue us, and that is what they're playing lawfare. These scumbags are using our democracy and using our legal system, which has been refined over hundreds of years, literally at least 1,200 years of work has gone in since Alfred the Great, whenever he was king. What, about 800 and something? years and years of effort has gone in to making this country a free and prosperous society, the best country. You know, yes, America's the most successful country in the world, without a shadow of a doubt, financially. But you know what? Britain's the best country in the world. The United Kingdom is the best country in the world. And why would anyone want to change that and destroy it and turn it into the failed states that they've come from? It is absolute insanity. But we'll go on with what Phil says. We have sitting MPs who care more about Gaza and Sharia law than they do about their English constituents. And without looking, I can guarantee this thread will be full of Islamic R crimes and threats made by Muslims as they continue to impose their requirements on a nation that welcome them with open arms and who happens to be dog lovers. That's the other thing is, I mean, what sort of a society hates dogs? You know, I mean, I know some people have phobias about dogs, but what sort of a society hates dogs? And then, of course, he's showing that the Home Office tweet here. Muslim communities have endured unacceptable hate and threats of violence. Do you know what? Do you know who's endured unacceptable levels of hate and threats of violence? The white British working class. The white British working class have endured unacceptable levels of hate and threats of violence. An attack on any community is an attack on us all. Not really. Not really. I think the truth of the matter is when the white British get attacked, either by police officers or by other demographics, and we saw the case last week, that scumbag Mahmoud Khan, who killed little Harvey. Yeah, we saw that. You know, where was the outcry there about that being a racially motivated attack? We don't know whether it was or whether it wasn't. But what we know is a Muslim kid stabbed a white kid and killed him in school. For what? And the kid that did it's got 16 years in prison. That kid should never see light of day. He should never get out. Life should mean life. In fact, they should have a death sentence for that sort of murder, in my opinion. So yeah, the government, we've announced 10 million in additional funding to support vital security measures to protect Muslim communities from intimidation and violence. Now let's listen to what this guy's got to say. Let's listen to this, okay? Now this is one of the friends of Telford, okay? Let's listen to what he's got to say.
The city of Birmingham will not tolerate the disrespect of our Prophet, peace be upon him, and there will be outcomes from your actions. You will have repercussions for your actions. We have been trained from birth that we must defend the honor of our Prophet, and we will lay our life on the line.
Okay, you know the other argument is,
Same guy.
so if you don't like
Same
it here, go to your own country.
But why would we do that when our forefathers were instrumental in rebuilding this country after World War II? It was our grandfathers who worked in the factory.
Really? So these guys that got off the boat from Kashmir, couldn't speak English. Yeah, they went and laboured in factories. They got paid for it. They were brought in just to fill a few gaps in the employment market after the Second World War. Let's get it right. That's what these people were brought into the country for. Big mistake, in my opinion. Massive mistake. Bringing Pakistani Muslims from tribal areas. This is the big problem. So they rebuilt Britain? I don't think so. I don't think you had the capability to rebuild Britain. There wasn't too many engineers. There wasn't too many. Probably wasn't even too many bricklayers came in from Kashmir. Okay, but no, this guy's convinced. Not only is he saying that he's ready to lay down his life for the prophet. Sorry, the false prophet. But he's now telling us that, well, basically, they built Britain, which is the bullshit that they're taught in school. It's the nonsense that the propaganda that they're taught by our education system.
20 hours. It was our grandfathers who came here and
They
run
don't-
the
they don't
infrastructure.
realise this.
It was our grandfathers who bought you the lovely curry, which is
Bought you the lovely curry. They bought us the lovely curry. Mate, curry is made with different spices that you can get in Tesco's. We don't need you to be here making us curry. And incidentally, curry isn't the national dish. I would say if we're going to have a national dish, it's going to be bangers and mash, pork sausages and mash for you, mate. Or it's going to be, let's see, a bacon butty. That could be the national dish. Or if you're in Scotland, it could be porridge. If you're in Northern Ireland, it could be the Ulster fry. It's not curry. It's not curry. Unbelievable. But wait to hear what he says at the end.
Is your national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I say, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Now look, that is this guy here, Ahmad Yaqub or Yaqub Ahmed or whatever he calls himself, right? I mean, you know, I'm not being funny. He looks like something out of a mafia movie. I'm just saying. And remember what the lawyers were always like in the mafia movies. The mafia were bad, but the lawyers were worse, right? But this guy, his friends or colleagues, two of his colleagues, one of them had a whole documentary made about him by Tommy, which he moaned and groaned about, but not think about how litigious these guys are, right? One of his colleagues, Charlie, had a full documentary made about him. And when Tommy caught up with him and challenged him, all he could do was say, "You're racist, Tommy. You're racist." That's all he could do. He worked with this guy. And what did this guy say? I'm going to pull that back just so you can see. You've probably all seen this before, but if you haven't, you need to hear this. I just love the way the guy says curry. We'll get back to that because I think it's just curry.
Run the infrastructure. It was our grandfathers who bought you the lovely curry, which is
Oh, sorry.
national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I say, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Here to take over, inshallah. Think about that, guys. They're not hiding what they want to do. They're not hiding it. Yeah, our grandfathers and mothers that defended and built our country, and I'm proud of them all. Absolutely. It's not about curry. It's about winning the Second World War, you absolute mugs. And what you've brought in and what you're trying to do, we defeated Nazis. We defeated the Nazis, okay, in the Second World War. We defeated the Nazis in the Second World War. And my message to Mr. I'm not here to take part, I'm here to take over. We defeated fascism in the last century. We're going to defeat Islamofascism in our country in this century. And as little Islamofascist scumbags who are saying they're not here to take part, to take over, we're going to defeat you. You're going to be the ones with your head in the hands. Simple as that. We're going to win. And everybody watching, that if you're downhearted about this, and you're upset about what's happening in the country, don't be, because we're not here to take part with you. We are taking over. And when we take over, if you're an extremist, if you're a radical, if you're an Islamist, if you're an Islamic fundamentalist who wants to impose your twisted, vile ideology on let's say the 7 million of them here, right? You want to impose that on the 90% of people in this country who are not radicals, who are not Islamists. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. But it will happen unless we stand up. And that's the message I've got. We need to stand up. We need to stop this pandering to people who are absolutely backward and medieval in their views of women, of children. You know, what sort of a religion has a leader who married a 6-year-old girl and consummated the marriage? Consummated the marriage, that's the wrong word. We all know what I'm talking about. Again, I'm not going to use it on the channel because of the censorious nature of we all know what I'm talking about. But we all know what Muhammad did to Aisha when she was 9 years old. How can that be a religion that we should even give any credence to, let alone give 10 million quid to? Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I do not want to get everyone wound up this morning. So let's try and finish on a positive note. Let's try and find something positive that's going on. But I mean, these people, honestly, it's absolutely. Oh man, what's this one? Oh dear. Let's have a look at this. This is fundamentalist Islam. This is Islamism. This is what we're up against. Let's have a look at what this absolute nutcase has to say. Oh.
Disbelieving Allah is a crime. Committing shirk with Allah is a crime.
Shirk. Now, just so you know what shirk is, right? Sorry guys, you didn't get that, did you? I didn't have it in the thing. I apologize. Let me get this in to the channel. I'll have to play this again. Okay, let me just play this again for you guys. Yeah. So this guy is talking about what crime, what's a crime in Islam. Okay, so let's just play this.
Disbelieving Allah is a crime. Committing
Think about that, guys. Did you hear it? Disbelieving Allah is a crime. Okay? Disbelieving Allah is a crime. That's what he's saying. Okay? Then what else is he going to say?
shirk with Allah is a crime. That's why I said
Committing shirk with Allah is a crime. And what shirk is basically believing in a Trinitarian God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. In other words, the God of the Bible. That's what shirk is. And obviously, again, the apologists will try and dress it up and say, oh, no, it's polytheism. No, if you read the Quran's very, very clear that ascribing partners with Allah is a crime in their book. In other words, and shirk in Islam is the unforgivable sin. So if you wonder why there's enmity between Christians and Islam, they deny the fundamental tenets of our belief. It's not an Abrahamic religion. It's a cult. It's a death cult. And that's what we're up against.
every single kafir is a criminal.
Every single kafir is a criminal. Think about that. Every single kafir. That means every single person that believes what I believe, believes what you believe, because I'd say there's not too many fundamentalist, extremist, whack job Islamists in the chat today. Every single person that believes anything other than what they believe is a criminal, according to this guy. Let's just finish off his rant.
Disbelieving Allah is a crime. Committing shirk with Allah is a crime. That's why I said every single kafir is a criminal. Disbelieving Allah is a crime. Committing shirk with Allah is a crime. That's why I said every single kafir is a criminal.
So there you have it. There you have it. And this is what we must fight against. This is what we must stand against. And I'm going to finish, because I'm going to finish this at 6. So there's this doctor. There's this doctor. Can you see that, guys? Just want to check you can see that. Yeah. So there's this doctor again. Okay. And this was in the Daily Mail. NHS doctor who would never condemn Hamas October the 7th slaughter arrives at tribunal wearing celebrity necklace number 7 for the 7th of October. These people do this stuff deliberately and provocatively. I'm trying to find some good news here, guys, but there isn't much. Do we want to hear Babana Mahmood? Should we hear what our Home Secretary had to say?
Let's listen what our Home Secretary had to say.
So here we have a Banana Mahmood.
I'm here today at the Peacehaven Mosque with the Prime Minister. The attack on this mosque a few weeks ago was an appalling crime, and I have met with those who were impacted that night and heard of the terror that they all felt. What is clear is this could have so easily led to an even more devastating outcome. It is appalling that my community, the Muslim community, faces such appalling levels of hate in the country.
Now, again, let me just come in there, right? So what she's saying here, right? What this woman is saying is, think about what she just said there. My community, the Muslim community. She's not identifying as a Home Secretary. If, excuse me, if any other Home Secretary said, oh, my community is a Christian community, my community is a Jewish community, they would be sacked. If you're the Home Secretary, your community is the British people, all of them, irrespective of race or religion. And this is where the gaslighting is absolutely massive. We do not know. No, you're right, party pants. Look at the gob on her. That's spoken like a true Ulsterman, farty pants. Look at the gob on her. You know. Oh man. So let's carry on playing this, see what she's got to say. But if any other Home Secretary said that, my community, when they were talking about the whatchamacallit, their religion, they would be sacked. It'd be simple as that. They'd be sacked.
Country that we love. And it is why I am here today to announce an additional £10 million to protect Muslim communities across the UK, strengthening security at our places of worship so we can practice our faith safely and without fear. I am proud of this country because of the rights that we have.
And Banana, the reason that you've got rights, okay, Banana Mahmood, the reason you've got the rights, the reason that you're able to actually be in the position you're in, and by the way, I don't think you should be allowed to swear on the Quran in the British Parliament. I think that needs to be banned as well. That's another thing. If you're going to be in the British Parliament, you've got to swear on the Bible. But the reason you've got the rights that you've got is not because of your twisted backward religion. The reason that you've got the rights that you've got is because of British democracy, because of years of strife in the United Kingdom. We had religious wars in the United Kingdom. We had them in the 17th century. We had the Civil War, which was basically a religious war. We've had the conflict in Northern Ireland. And we've moved on from all that. And we don't want to be plunged back into that garbage because of extremists from your faith. Not saying, you know, we all know we're not talking about all Muslims, but we are talking about that 32% that want Sharia law. And they've got to go. It's as plain and simple as that.
The right to follow your conscience and the faith of your choosing. The right to live free.
Well, the problem is that Muslims can't do that. If you're a Muslim and you apostatize, there's only one penalty under the Sharia, and that's the death penalty for apostates. That's what you get if you don't repent. In the caliphate, if the Muslim Brotherhood and these Islamist groups like the Maududi people and Jamaati Islami and all these groups get power, basically the apostates will be killed, and everybody else will either have to convert, pay the jizya, which we're already paying. We're paying probably more than 2% to have these people live among us. You know, if we were in an Islamic state, you pay the jizya, you become a dhimmi, or you convert, or you die. That's the options that are on the table.
From hatred and from fear, whoever you might be. But that right has to be defended. Violence directed at any faith or community is an attack on us all, and we must stand together in solidarity against those who seek to divide us.
Now, again, I haven't seen a video made like that about Harvey. I haven't seen a video made like that about the murderous attack on the synagogue. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen these high production values. Why? Because there's only 350,000 Jews in this country. And the Labour Party have made a very cynical decision that they don't matter and their votes don't matter. Because the only hope they've got of getting anywhere is if they can persuade enough Muslims to vote for them. And they can, well, actually not Muslims, let's get it right, community leaders who'll go and gather up all the votes and basically get the voter base all put into the envelopes and the postal votes in. Let's just get it right. That's what goes on. No, I haven't seen a smile, and I'm not surprised. I mean, look, you know, yep, that's what we're up against. So guys, I know this has been, we've done quite a lot on what's happening with the Islamist stuff. Next time we're going to do this again on Monday. I think that went okay this morning. I think it went okay for the first breakfast show. But let's get back to something lighter, okay? Let's finish on the Men of England, okay? So there you go, guys. Let's get on this. Let's get this downloaded. Go to the link in the description. Click on the link. And let's get this to #1 in the download charts. Because if we get, I think it's about 50,000 you need. I think you need 50,000 downloads, I think, to get to #1 in the download charts. And Ricky got to #2 with his. So let's do it. 99p. It's not even a coffee. 99p. And it would send such a massive Such a massive, massive message. Lee, brother, thanks so much for your encouragement. I really do appreciate that. And guys, what do you know what we're doing here? And I say this on the Friday night as well. And okay, yeah, before I forget, as well as downloading the track, okay, with 5 minutes left, Southampton, was chatting to the guys from Southampton. If anybody knows anybody that has a vehicle with a big screen on it that you can get to Southampton for Sunday, let me know. I mean, I know it's a massive ask and it's probably too short notice, but if you know anybody that they're looking to try and get a vehicle with a big screen, they have a PA sound system, all that sort of stuff for the event, but they were trying to get something with a big screen on it to play some videos. And if they do, what I would suggest, Lee, I don't know if you're watching this morning, mate, but if you do get the big screen, you're asking what you could play. I think By the Numbers, which I will try and find the link of actually here now. Let's have a look. YouTube, By the Numbers. Just bear with me, guys. Yeah, so yeah, there's the download thing. By the Numbers, if I can find it. I'm going to put the link in the... Oh, great. There you go. Clarion Project, By the Numbers. I'm going to drop the link in the description here. So this is just, people were asking about this yesterday. This was the video I played in yesterday's stream. So if you can find that, yes, best. I'll be chatting to the guys next week that set all this up for me. This has been done professionally through a proper record label. There's a mate of mine. He's massive in the movement. He does stuff in the background, but he's been doing some great stuff. So yes, Sunday, when we're talking about Sunday in Southampton, what we need is tens of thousands of people there. That's the main thing. And if we get tens of thousands of people to that event on Sunday, it sends a massive message to the state. And we're not going to sit back and allow our people, our women and our youngsters to be intimidated by a mob like they were on Sunday. Okay. Last Sunday. So, yeah, I'll try and get on tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be doing an early morning one tomorrow because after all it is. In fact, no, I can't do tomorrow because I'm swimming. I go swimming every. Yeah. Okay. So let's get down to it. So tonight, 7 o'clock in Bangor, outside the Marine Court Hotel in Northern Ireland. I'll be there tonight. So if you want to get down, that crowd, we're getting good numbers down there. We're getting good numbers on a Friday night. We're only a small town, but there's a lot of people turning up. There's a lot of people coming from all over the country to that event. And I think I'm going to make a speech tonight about what Advance are doing in Northern Ireland, because I think that's important that people know that. So I'll be there from 7 o'clock. Let's hope the weather's okay. And yeah, we'll get that done tonight. Then Saturday, I'm not sure if the Chimney Corner's on Saturday. It's normally on Saturday. Let me know if you're from Chimney Corner. And then, you know, we can get people to go up there as well. And also Sunday, you've got the big event in Southampton. And again, the stuff's very widely available on the internet about that, where it's going to be. It's meeting at the hotel, as far as I know. Well, there you go, Lady J and I. You can come down tonight. It's not too far to come. So, and then Nick Tenconi. I'm not sure where he's going, but Nick Tenconi is going to be protesting tomorrow. Absolute scandalous abuse of the political process. The police banning a march by a legitimate political party in Whitechapel. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Do you know what? This coffee's just about kicking in now. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed that tonight. That what we did today with the stream. Let me know. And again, I'll do it more often for sure, because obviously what we want to do is build a community. Could I ask everybody, if you could, to please, if you could actually follow us on Counter Media. So like and subscribe to Counter Media. Hit the notification bell so that we know you get the notifications. And if this works, I'll try and do this. I'll try and do this on a regular basis. Again, it's basically about giving people hope. This is what it's about, and giving people solutions to the problems. And that's what I'm going to do. And we'll try and get a little bit of, they do the thought for the day thing on the radio. We'll try and get something like that in as well, where we can maybe get some Christian speakers coming in and just doing a 5-minute little thing. Because we want to give people hope, because there is hope. There's massive hope. If we can do what needs to be done, and the plan's there. I mean, I'm not hiding it. I know that what the plan is to do this. And who could disagree? No right-thinking person would disagree with the plan that I've got to actually save this country from the nightmare that it's getting plunged into. We need to deal with the communists as well. We need to deal with the hard left too. But do you know what? I think I'll put more Christianity into the next one, British lady, because obviously I think we've got to do both. Yeah, if we get past to Chris Wickland, I think that'd be great. Or Brett. Don't know what these guys are like in the morning. You see, that's the problem. As soon as I get up, pretty much that's the on switch on, and I'm kind of good to go. You know what I mean? But some people they take a little bit longer to warm up. Yes, everybody join Advance UK. So there's loads of stuff to do. And remember, guys, the pledge is still very much a viable entity, because the pledge needs to be there to call Advance to account. We know that Reform need call to account. Advance, UKIP, the Conservative Party, the Labour Party. That's what the pledge is all about. It's about calling all the political parties to account. So it is politically spit my teeth out, politically neutral. Everyone knows I've nailed my colours to the mast. I'm supporting Advance, not involved in the leadership, so I can say what the heck I want about politics, and nobody can hold me over the coals, because I'm not a spokesman for Advance. I'm a member of Advance who has very strong political and religious opinions. But that's the beauty of Advance, that you're allowed to be like that. But I will be talking about Advance tonight, because Ben Habib definitely wants us to organise in Northern Ireland. And I think there's quite a lot of members in Northern Ireland already. So we need to get that going. And again, I'm also going to be looking at the UK freedom movement. So did that that was Les, that was chatting earlier in the comments. I'm going to look into that today, Les, find out where the emails are going, because you know what? I'll be honest with you. This doesn't look very chaotic, but my life is completely and utterly chaotic. That's all I'm going to say. I've got so much going on. There's that many different things I'm involved in, and it's very difficult. We're talking about someone's putting about AI taking jobs away there. I would like AI to take some of my jobs away, as long as I got paid by AI for them doing it. I think what Ben wants is people just to be in one party or the other. But obviously, you can basically do what you want, can't you? If you want to join both, I'm sure you can do it. Advance and unite the kingdom, absolutely. That is that Advance, unite the kingdom, and let's not forget the pledge, because we've all got so carried away with unite the kingdom and Advance. We've forgotten about the pledge, but the pledge is really, really important, and we really do need to push it, because I'm still convinced that it's if we could get the pledge up to 1 million signups, and we're sitting, it's gone a bit stagnant. We're probably about 60,000, which isn't bad, because remember, we didn't get a massive amount of support from a lot of people that we should have got support from. I'm not going to put too much of a finer point on that, but on the whole, we did this between Tommy. Now, who did Maya? I think Maya Tusi gave us quite a lot of support at the beginning. Maya supported us. Tommy, Maya, Paul Thorpe, Jeff Taylor. If I've missed anyone, I apologise. But that was and me. That was pretty much it. Have I missed anyone out? I don't think so. So, Ben supported the pledge massively at the beginning. So Ben and Peter Whittle was at the signing of the pledge, and Andrew Bridgham was at the signing of the pledge. So we had some support, but it could have been better supported. And I think the pledge massively we need to keep sharing it, and we need to keep getting people to sign up, because at the minute what we've got a great community online. We've got a great community that meets at the events, you know, all the different places around the country where people are meeting for the different events, and that's growing. That's great. But I think we need to get the pledge with a lot, and the pledge is very passive. I don't send too many emails out from the pledge, because at the end of the day, there's no point in bugging people. But I am going to speak to the rest of the team and see if I can be allowed to promote the Men of England, because I think it's very, very relevant to the pledge as well. So anyway, okay, guys. Well, listen, I will get off here. I've gone 5 minutes over, and I am going to finish on time today. Well, okay, I'm 5 minutes over already. Do you know what? Yeah, I think that's a very fair point, Kelly. That's a very fair point. And it's me the problem is I'm the one that sends the emails, right? And and again, there's a team of us. There's 4 of us basically do the stuff on the pledge, and we make the decisions together to keep it kind of democratic. So I'm not just spamming people all the time with my opinions. But I am going to send emails out. I'm also going to start using the UK Freedom Movement emailing list as well. There's about 3,000 on that. There's about 60,000 on the pledge. And again, what I'll probably do is send the song out through both. Right, guys, I'm going to go. So thanks for tuning in. I will be doing this again on Monday. So Monday, we're going to do it all again. And stay, as Mark Stein used to say, stay safe and stay free. See you soon, guys.